Hey guys, back today again with another quick review. It's more like just a little bit of input on this item. I ended up picking up a Cell S&P Nimbus saddle some time ago, and probably like I'd say 2 or 3 months ago. And I would say it's a great saddle, but I just want to give you guys a few pointers on the saddle if you guys decide to buy one. The only reason I looked into this saddle or discovered this saddle to begin with was because of Cam Nichols. I'll probably link his channel below if you guys want to find out more about him. I think he used to be a professional racer, and he's always had this one gentleman on his channel regarding bike fitness and things of that nature. And I went ahead and wanted to try this saddle out, but I should have done a little more research prior to purchasing it, because for me, I am no racer. I am no professional rider, and maybe my sit bones are a little different from other people, but prior to this, I was running a Specialized Power Arc Elaston saddle, and that thing was very good for what it was. Once I got fitted, it felt pretty good overall, but I would still sometimes get a little bit of a pain at the hips, or the spot that hits the saddle, basically. And I was thinking it was a little too wide, and I was hoping a narrower saddle would help out. But so I picked this little guy up, and in terms of clearance, I loved the fact that this area seemed more narrow. I didn't measure them in comparison, but I did feel like I had more clearance on the pedal stroke. My inner thigh would not rub against the saddle, which was fantastic. I did like the nose of the saddle, where I can kind of rest myself. It did feel like a short nose saddle might have not been the perfect suit for me, but again, it's very subjective to the person. Short nose saddles are nice for clearance, especially if you're not a tall person and you got to get in front of the saddle for some reason, or if you're worried about it catching on your bib or whatnot, it's probably less likely to happen. And overall, the fitment of the saddle is not bad, but I think maybe it could also be due to the fact that my bike, when I designed it, it's still a little bit too long for me, because I was worried about toe overlap with the front wheel, which is a mistake on my part. But overall, I feel like I should have gone with, I think it's called the Volcor saddle. It's actually the same exact shape, but the padding was a little bit thicker. Because the Nimbus itself is actually a thin padding according to Cell S&P's website, and it's not necessarily bad, but it was a little bit rough on my tushy. It's got titanium rails, and they work great. As you can see, it's rubbed off a tad here, but they give you a lot of range. But however, you have to make sure that you have the right type of seat post, because if you got the type where it's got just the resting plate underneath, and then the two clamps up top to clamp it down, you have to be careful of the clearance here, because I know for a fact that with that type of seat post, it can catch, because it sits a little too tall. It can catch right on the saddle, so you might not be able to make use of bringing the saddle all the way forward if that happens to be something you need, or positioning it right in the middle, because the two clamps would be like sitting against the saddle itself versus just on the rails. So that's definitely something you guys want to make sure of before you purchase this saddle. Otherwise, if you're used to saddles that are a little bit more solid, I would say this is probably a great saddle for you. For me, I still haven't found the right one. Let's see, what else did I like and dislike about the saddle? This is something I wasn't crazy about, because I would usually mount things like lights on the back of my saddle. That's one thing I really liked about the Power Arc Pro Elaston. It had the specialized SWAT mount in the back, and I just basically had one GoPro mount with my light mounted to it, which was really sleek and very well designed. Not expensive to set up. Number two, if you have a saddle mount, kind of like there's a Topeak one where it mounts to the rails up top here. because this is not a traditional design, you'll find that that bracket actually won't stick to here. So that is another issue that you guys might want to keep in mind if you have that older style Topeak clamp. I don't think they even sell them anymore, but just in case if you happen to own it, yeah, that's an issue. Other than that, it's very subjective on fitment, and I really think it's a very good quality saddle. It's just unfortunately not suited for me. I tried angling at different positions. I tried bringing it forward or backwards or back on the saddle, and overall I couldn't find a position where I would be comfortable all the time. After a certain period of riding, I would actually not notice the discomfort on my saddle, but I had that same issue with the Power Arc. But this one actually would be slightly more uncomfortable than the Power Arc for me. There's a lot of people out there who tried this saddle out and they love it. So I honestly don't know what else to tell you guys. Yeah. If you guys are interested in picking up this saddle, I'll drop an affiliate link below. If you guys buy through that, it will support my channel. It's not much, but I'd appreciate it regardless. Thank you for tuning in. If you guys want to see more content like this, please feel free to give us a like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video.